Shalom, Kohala, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Chachodash, the ones the apostles of great millstone, and Shalom, true brothers and highways and byways, doing the works sincerely and faithfully, and continually fighting that good fight of faith. Lord willing, we're found in that number. All right. So the times are coming, man. Shit is starting to get real. Things are starting to happen. People are starting to choose and take sides. And we of the hopeful elect, we understand and know that we're living in some very perilous times right now. But for the rest of you Israelites out there who are just lost in the sauce and going about your daily life like it's all good, you're going to get caught out there in that race war. All right? And little do people know there's going to be a race war. Esau's gearing up. He's training up his kids, his daughters, his sons, all types of, preparedness, if you will. So, it'll behoove you people to get your heads out of the dirt, and prepare yourselves, And what I mean by prepare yourself is come back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Repent and come back to the Lord that he may protect you in these perilous times. Right? So we're going to get a couple scriptures and move on and go from there. I'm going to play a couple videos first, and then we'll go through some couple scriptures.
Well, we start with the civil unrest, which continues to grip many American cities. Unrest which was sparked many months ago by the killing by white officers of the black man George Floyd. Scuffles between anti-racism protesters and self-styled far-right vigilantes are becoming more frequent, fueled by the current president's view that this is a legitimate citizen's response. Yuka Hoye has more.
In Portland, Salt Lake City or Kenosha, armed men patrol the streets, but they're not in uniform.
We're out here trying to protect residents, we're trying to protect innocent people.
Self-appointed vigilantes are being seen more and more frequently at anti-racism protests. But what exactly is their goal? We went to Olympia, Washington State, to meet Peter Diaz, founder of American Wolf, a roving group of armed activists.
We're just not a militia.
But you have guns.
Yeah, but I'm an American. Americans have guns. I refuse to sit back and watch my country be destroyed and dismantled around me.
Members of American Wolf call themselves peacekeepers. Diaz created the group in late April to fight against anti-government protests that he claimed were led by far-left extremists.
They want some sort of socialist or communist government, and so they're trying to change what our government is by destroying our country.
They travel around the country, often staging counter-protests in Black Lives Matter hotspots, armed with what they call defensive weapons.
So it's just a standard paintball?
Pepper spray, a baseball bat, and zip-tie handcuffs are also in his car.
These would be to detain somebody if need be, to prevent violence. Where are the police? Do you see any police out here?
He also carries a lethal weapon.
So I'll put my hand like this, so it's not like my hand is on the, like this.
We followed Diaz to a pro-Trump rally, where we found another far-right militia group guarding the site, known as 3%ers. One of the most organized paramilitary groups in the United States, it gives combat training to its members.
That's perfect, yep.
And in South Carolina, we spoke with the head of pro-gun militia, One Republic. As President Trump shifts the blame on Democratic politicians for the growing civil unrest, far-right vigilantes seem increasingly energized to take matters into their own hands.
And that's exactly what these devils are going to do. They're going to start taking matters in their own hands. All right. So I played that first video to show you the structure as to how this is all, gearing up and forming up. Okay. And when this thing really starts to pop off, then you're going to see. This is 2 Ezra 6:22. It says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown." All right? Because everybody's choosing their side right now. And the only people, and I'll say it this way, man, the only people that don't see what the hell is happening are Israelites. those out there in the world who believe Esau still, is kind-hearted and they can be changed and reform and all this other nonsense. We at the end of this thing, it's about to go down. Okay? And it says, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And that's another key, trait, if you will, characteristic, that, if you will, when these stores start going bare, man, these shelves start going bare, people gonna start doing a lot of crazy things, man. And the thing about it is, Israel don't think it's gonna happen. You think the store shelves are gonna be stocked forever. You believe that this Esau will never let it come to that. Well, it's already unfolding right before your very eyes. Okay, just look at the prices of food right now. Shit, everything's going through the roof. Okay? And it says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. All right? When you start, even, I'm going to say it this way for the purpose of the lesson, when you start hearing gunfire in the streets, when you start hearing, people screaming and hollering, like blood-curdling scream, you ain't going to venture outside your house. You ain't going to be trying to go to the club in that time period. All right? Your life is going to hang in the balance every waking day and every sleeping night. Your life is going to hang in the balance. All right? And it says, I'll read it again. And the trump shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. Okay? So let me go back. Hold on. 24. And at that time shall friends fight one another. Shall friends fight one against another like enemies. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. All right? We always talk about during the time of Katrina, when that Jake was running, looking for help from his white neighbor, and they turned on his ass like a rabid dog. Damn near killed his ass. You see? So let's play, what do we got here? Let's play this next clip.
It's over!
The killing of Emmanuel was not the beginning of this type of war on Black folks. Those who were there, including my sister Cynthia, simply died that night because, one, they were there, and two, that they were Black. That was it. Never really dealt with what occurred in Charleston because everybody was so quick to wanting to clean it up. So if that was not a defining moment, I'm not sure what is.
have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special.
Well, they've spent a lot of time moving forward their movement of hate. We've spent a lot of time debating if it exists. We still, as a country, can't agree on the fact that we have a white supremacist problem.
A cry for racial justice, some 400 years in the making, moves us. A rise of political extremism, white supremacy, domestic terrorism, that we must confront and we will defeat.
This country is one incident away from really delivering on the promise of building root.
All right. So you heard Esau in the beginning, Esau with the Jake right there in the beginning talking about the race war, all right, and Dylan Root. And if you noticed all the Confederate flags, these devils was flying and hanging in the trees and, just supporting their belief of their country. And it is their country. This is their stinking country and they can keep it because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to destroy this place. And they're going to hold on with every ounce of strength that they have to bring this place back to where they think it should be. Well, it's too late for that, man. This place is circling the drain. And you Israelites out there who are trying to, build this place up and keep it running, may you be destroyed with it right along with it, man. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it's going to have to be. All right? From there, let's go here. The second is 15, and I'm going to start at 16. And it says, I'll start at 14. Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and with swords in their hands. All right? This is also referring to the race wars. One people shall stand up and fight against another. That's all going to take place in what you call America. Babylon, aka Babylon. Sodom and Gomorrah. This is where it's going to take place. This is where a lot of Israelites are going to die over here when this race war pops off. Because they didn't prepare themselves. They didn't put themselves in a mindset where they needed to be. The scriptures talk about measuring the time diligently in itself. You Israelites out there ain't even concerned about the time we're living in. As long as you can just go to the mall and go to events and take off your mask, that's all you care about. But you don't realize your life hangs in the balance, man. Verse 15, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Now, just watching those videos, those quick clips, you think these people are going to be regarding their authorities, their local authorities and the local governments, and then the presidents and the mayors and government? They ain't giving two shits about that, man. Once Esau gets the taste of blood in his mouth, that's it. There's no stopping these devils. There's no stopping them. Okay? And these scriptures hold true, man. Everything that we're reading is about to go down. Everything. The course of their actions shall stand in their power. This is why in one of those clips you see in that militia group, heavily training in the woods, that guerrilla warfare type style. Jake is too worried about smoking weed and bullshitting while Esau's gunning up, shooting and doing whatever he needs to do. Now, I'll say this. You had that Moors group, okay? You had the Moors group who had, was on here in Boston, and as the reports came out, them niggas was just real foolish, man. Real fucking foolish. All right? So Esau, what he does is, his militia groups, he makes sure everybody's on point. He makes sure everybody got their gun license. He makes sure everybody got, they're up to date on, their tags and this, that, and the third. But Jake don't see, that's the thing. Jake read a couple fucking, pamphlets and think that he knows what the fuck is going on. Come to find out, these niggas ain't have not a damn near one permit for a gun, you know, and all types of warrants and all kinds of criminal cases opened up. And my thing is this: if you, you know, we tell the brothers, man, make sure your shit is on point, man. If you got tickets out there, take care of them. If your license is suspended, take care of it. You know? Not saying you're going to conform to this world, but at least while we out here, you know, handling the work of the Lord, we doing it, you know, in a sense of being wise. It's not wise to get into an automobile and drive with a suspended license. That's not wise. It's not wise to get into an automobile with guns, with no gun permit, and pull over on the side of the road and post up like you know, you about to go to war. It's not wise. So once again, you know, our people just are foolish, man. And a lot of our people gonna get caught out there when this race war starts. Okay? When things become unsown, as the scripture says. All right? It says a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right? All right, so the brother at the end of the last video mentioned Dylan Roof and what he did. So let's check out Dylan Roof and see what he did.
Testimony continues next week in the federal hate crimes trial of Dylan Roof. Roof, who is white, is accused of shooting 9 black people to death last year at a Bible study meeting in a Charleston, South Carolina church. All
right, so this dude shot up a church and killed 9 Jakes. All right. Now, and be mindful, man. Be mindful. The place is still somewhat sown. There's still kind of law and order, if you will, right now. But can you imagine when shit starts to break down? And this devil, he's probably about 21 years old, maybe. Between 19 and 20, 21. Can you imagine when shit starts to break down? It's going to be hunting season, man. And we know Esau. Esau is a cunning man that likes to hunt. And you Jakes are going to be the prey, man. You fuck around, you're going to get caught out there, man. Continue with the video.
Video recording was introduced as evidence on Friday. In it, Roof reveals his hatred of African Americans and his broader intentions when he barged into the Bible study group. Mark Strassman is covering the trial.
I went to that church in Charleston, and I did it.
This is Dylan Roof's newly released videotaped confession to FBI agents.
You did what? Well, I know it's tough sometimes to say it. It's not that I don't want to say it because I don't want to make myself seem guilty. I just don't really like saying it.
For 2 hours, he calmly outlined the details of the church massacre.
So did you shoot him? Yes. What kind of gun did you use? A Glock 45. Okay.
Surveillance video shows lambs leading themselves to slaughter. Mother Emanuel parishioners arriving for Bible study in June of 2015. In walked Dylan Roof. His fanny pack carried a .45 Glock pistol and 7 magazines loaded with hollow point bullets. The agent later asked, "Why did you do it?" Roof said, "I had to do it because somebody had to. Blacks are raping and killing white people on the streets every day. What I did is still minuscule to what they're doing to white people every day." Roof guessed he had killed 5 people, but it was 9. His rampage had targeted Mother Emanuel as an historic black church. Once inside, he opened fire when the faithful rose and closed their eyes in prayer. Then he cautiously left the church. His right hand still held the pistol. Roof told investigators, "I was in absolute awe that nobody was there. I peeped out the door and didn't see a cop. I kept the last magazine, not because I was going to shoot cops, but shoot myself."
I clearly understand the harm that he did.
Malcolm Graham's sister, 54-year-old Cynthia Hurd, was murdered in the church they grew up in.
This was an attack on a race of people, an attack on the Christian church, an attack on humanity.
Graham wants Roof to get the death penalty, a question of punishment that divides relatives of those murdered. At one point, FBI agents asked Roof whether he was guilty. He said, "I am guilty. We all know I'm guilty." For CBS This Morning Saturday, Mark Strassman, Charles.
Okay, and like I said, the place is still somewhat sown. When all hell really starts to come, upon this place, man, you're going to see many people like this Roof dude, shooting, killing, and doing whatever they damn well please. All right, read a little more. It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread, and for great tribulation." Okay? So a man's not going to have any pity on anybody. Especially you Jakes, man. Young, old, small. Esau's not going to have no mercy, man. And a lot of you Jakes going to do exactly that. They're going to flock to these churches. And as the news anchor said, you're going to be sheep led to the slaughter. These devils are going to sit right outside and wait for you to fly in there, because they know we're a spiritual people. They know that we turn, as you people say, you turn to God, so you flee to the church. And that's where a lot of you niggas going to get caught out, man, in that church, man. All right? So be it as it may, I just want to do a quick clip on that because, this place is becoming unsown day by day. And it's just a matter of time before the Lord lets the devil loose. If Esau's not loose, man, you may see all these cop killings and shit like, Dylan right here. But Esau hasn't been cut loose, man. He's salivating. He's still waiting in the wings to get that green light. We ain't seen shit yet, man. And Lord willing, Yahweh Shai Shai protects and covers all those of the hopeful elect. Because at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to what side of the tracks you want. You either for Yahweh Shai or you for the devil in this world trying to build up this kingdom for this devil who's about to be destroyed. All right, so with that, Lord willing, brothers edified, I'll see you on another show. I say shalom.